And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning, friends and traders. Welcome to the market forecast for Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. I am JD. I will be your host again this morning. As always, thank you for choosing to spend your time with us. Our goal here is always to apply accurate context, sound risk management, so hopefully we can all walk away with a little more understanding than we had before we started. Remember, again, hit that lucky like button. Feel free to share your comments, questions, and feedback in the chat. We do appreciate and encourage all forms of feedback. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get all those excellent updates every time we go live. What do you say we just dig right into it? The word for today, I should say the word for the week, is inflation. Out already this morning, we had the MBA mortgage applications report and the September producer price index report. Let's start with mortgage applications, which was released at 7 o'clock this morning, Central Time. Composite index week over week, actual came in down 2%. Oh, almost lost my microphone there. The purchase index, month over month, down 2.1%, and the refinance index, I apologize, week over week, down 2.1%, and the refinance index, week over week, down 1.8%. Next, the producer price index report was released just a few minutes ago, 15 minutes ago or so, and came out a little hotter than expected, sort of hinting that the U.S. economy is performing a little better than expected. Those numbers, PPI, month over month, actual came in at 0.4%. The consensus was for 0.2%. Year over year, consensus for 8.4% came in at 8.5%. So we're looking a little better there. We'll have to wait and see now how the Fed will use this data in their efforts to curb inflation going forward. Outside of that, for today, we have, at 9 o'clock Central Time, the Atlanta Fed business inflation expectations, and Neil Kashkari is speaking. At noon, we have a 10-year note auction. 12:45, Michael Barr speaks. 1 o'clock, the release of the FOMC minutes from the last meeting, from the last Fed meeting. And later this evening at 5:30, Michelle Bowman speaks. Those are all in Central Time, mind you. Overnight, markets in Asia, stocks in Asia closed relatively mixed. Shanghai Composite was up 1.53%, Nikkei down 0.02%, and the Hang Seng Index down 0.78%. In Europe, stocks are trading a little mixed this morning also, with the DAX up 0.08%, CAC down 0.44%, and the FTSE down 0.36%. In U.S., stocks are looking to close a little higher right now after trading kind of flat overnight. We'll take a look at that in the charts in just a few minutes. VIX pulled back a little bit to 33.39, and the yield on the 10-year Treasury note is now up to 3.96%, getting real close to that 4%. Let's take a look and see who's in the room. Yep, Patrick, I saw you in there first. You win the prize. Brody, there is no second place prize. You got to get her first. Good morning, Tachyon, Joel, Scarlet Arachnid, Jules, Caprice, Ron, The Rooster, Jordy, Dimitar, Sonny, Patrick, Brody. If second place is a cookie, I'll trade you my prize straight up. There are no cookies, Patrick. Cookies are for closers. Charles, Sarah Hall, good morning. Glitter Sandwich, Just Wave. Zarain, Nasdaq, Dan Trader, DA. Good morning, everybody. All right, what do you say we dive right into it? We did get a little action after release of this number earlier. Let me queue up some charts, actually. Here we go. Excuse me. So here is our daily of the E-mini S&P 500, the ES. Market's been relatively flat so far this week. I'll say that this is in anticipation of some of the inflation reports. We just had PPI out this morning, Fed minutes this afternoon, and CPI tomorrow morning. A lot of data coming out. And all the ES was held to, we're trading in about a 90 handle range so far this week. Not a whole lot. We did see a little spike in volume yesterday on that down day. But I viewed yesterday as a pretty choppy session. And all the ES traded yesterday in a 73 handle range. Closed 26 points lower. Traded 2.4 million contracts in the D's contract and added about 10,000 in open interest. Right now, prices are trading below our June below our June lows back here, which we've been looking at for a while, and pretty close to last week's lows. We're approaching those right now also. Here's our 4-hour chart. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot happening here, right? We had this little head fake here yesterday. Nice rip and dip, but for the most part, this market has been fairly flat all week. We're still trading in the lower end of this balance area from last week, right around here. And like I said, we've yet to take out last week's lows. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. So here we see the market traded around Monday's range pretty well. Pretty nicely, low to high. Took out the overnight low right after the 8:30 bell yesterday. Had a nice rally through the morning. Never really got up to Monday's highs here, though. Then just fell flat to flush out all these week longs earlier that started building up earlier in the day. Right now, overnight inventory was a little long up until that number. Might have had a little flush. Might have stopped a few of those longs out. But we spent pretty much the entire overnight session in range and in value from yesterday. So this market is still waiting on some more data to give it direction right now, I think. Whenever we open inside of value from the previous session, I know Hogue preaches this all the time. This is not the time to be forcing any issues. This is where we step back, be patient, and wait for the market to give us better entry signals. Let's move over to our daily in crude oil. So we followed up 5 consecutive higher closes with a pair of down days. Volume was decent, but not really. That volume doesn't impress me too much. Prices are still trading above the 50-day moving average here. The 10-day moving average has crossed above the 50-day, and the 20-day is steadily converging on the 50-day as we speak right now. We still haven't tested our weekly kickoff low here at 86.50, and we're seeing some buyers step in right around where we made these highs in early September here. In all, yesterday crude settled at 89.35, traded 333,000 contracts, 333 contracts. It's my ode to Pat Foley there, retired Blackhawks announcer. And the November contract lost another 14,500 in open interest, while the December contract picked up about 11,000. So the roll is in play. Crude is rolling. Let me just double check what day crude rolls next week. Monday, crude oil rolls to the December contract. Put that on your calendar. If you're not already trading the December contract, official roll will be on Monday. Last trading day for the November contract will be Thursday, the 20th, next week. Keep that in mind. All right, here is our 4-hour chart. You could see the bulk of the move happened during the overnight session yesterday here. Then the market fell into balance for the remainder of the day, and we're still inside that balance area right now. We have all these shorter-term moving averages converging on each other, and it does appear that volume is tapering off just a little bit, likely due to the roll also. Here is our 30-minute. We have this little gap here to open yesterday's regular trading hours. There was maybe a little attempt to rally right before the 8 a.m. Central Time open, but prices eventually just fell back again. We have this P-shaped profile formation from yesterday, which the textbook says is consistent with a short covering day. So there was a lot of business done between this 89 and 90 range yesterday. Then this late break at about 1:30 to end days on the low. Overnight inventory was pretty long until PPI came out. We're seeing a nice move outside of value from yesterday. Still in range, but outside of value. Stopping out all of that overnight inventory right now. Prices look like they wanted to trade through this this gap earlier today, but just didn't get that follow through when the report came out. Overall, I'd say pullbacks are healthy for rallies, so there is going to be some opportunity in crude oil this morning. Let's check out the Nasdaq. So, pretty consistent with what we saw in the ES, or what we're seeing in the ES this morning. This market's been relatively flat so far this week, likely in anticipation of those inflation reports again. In all, the Nasdaq was held to just a 270-point range yesterday, but volume was pretty strong on the small up day. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a 4-hour chart. Here's our daily. Volume was pretty strong on this little down day, I should say. The D's contract traded 833,000 contracts, lost about 900 in open interest, and settled the day at 10,845, down 139 points. Now here's our 4-hour. Same as the ES, a little weakness. Start the week, more consolidation after yesterday. This little rip and dip here, then sideways again. And here we are trading right around last week's lows right now. Here's our 30-minute. So here's yesterday's session. Prices open inside range but outside value from Monday. Took out the overnight lows right after the 8:30 bell. Had a nice little rally throughout the morning, steadily decreasing volume. Then just flushed everyone out going into the close. Overnight inventory, a little long. We're seeing a little dip right now. But it is looking like prices will open inside value from yesterday on the 8:30 bell. We'll see what happens in the next hour or so, or half hour or so, I should say. Again, this market is craving a little news to give it direction right now. So we'll see what keeps happening as this inflation data keeps coming out the next day or two. Here is our daily in gold. It was another break in gold yesterday. Closed just a little bit lower. That makes 5 consecutive lower closes with ever so slightly increasing volume, but still less than impressive. We're still trading below all these shorter term moving averages here. And the slow stochastic oscillator is still signaling continued weakness for now. But it looks like this market is waiting on more inflation data as well. Let's look at our 4-hour. Not much movement here after the number. This chart looks nearly identical to the ES and the NQ 4-hour charts, if you were paying attention there. Some steady weakness starting the week. The rip and dip back into balance. Volume slowly tapering off. Prices are trading right in line with these two previous areas of balance going back to early September and late September. I think we called this balance area, I think I called the other day 1685 to 1660, if that sounds right. I'll have to go back and double check, but I'm pretty sure that was it, 1685 to 1660. That's a nice balance area going back to the beginning of September. Here's a 30-minute chart. So yesterday, open regular trading hours, inside range, inside value for Monday. Tested the overnight lows. Couldn't quite make it there. ripped higher to take out Monday's high, then flushed out all these week longs. It looks like the same setup as ES and the NQ. These charts almost look identical again. Overnight inventory is maybe a little bit long, pretty balanced. We took out yesterday's low overnight and rallied back to our point of control, which kind of held as a nice line on the sand overnight. Prices opened inside range, inside value from yesterday. And again, I think headline risk is on this week. Inflation news is going to move these markets. So tighten up the screws until we see some real direction. Start to hit these markets. Let's take a little look at the chat. Juan Palomino profile starting end time in crude oil is 8 o'clock to 1:30. Those are my profile times for crude oil. Central time. Anything else? Rusty Golfer, Huggle Matters, Trading Research, Ricardo, Juan Palomino, good morning, everyone. Let me switch back over here. A couple of quick announcements. So, obviously, Hogue is still out today, but we will, Nick Dolby and I will be hosting another group coaching session today at 1 o'clock. Feel free to email me any questions or topics you'd like to discuss. Let me drop my email in the chat for you right now. Almost feel Jennifer B. Jenner B. I almost feel as if I should skip trading today. Caught a nice overnight move in NQ last night. Well, Jenner, if you're in a trading combine, switch over to the practice account and see how you do trade in these choppy markets for the rest of the day. It's always good to practice and learn what your habits are. And that's what the practice account is there for, to practice. If you had a good day, you had a good morning, don't blow it. Just jump over to the practice account. But if that is it, what kind of classes was Mr. Hoagland participating in all this week? I missed that enough. So Hogue is out for personal reasons. He'll be back maybe tomorrow. He did send me a message last night saying he wouldn't be in again today. He's taking another day for personal reasons. But we'll see. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow or possibly Friday for the recap. What class? Oh, just did that one. So with that, like I said, group coaching is on today, and I will also be back for the market recap later this afternoon. So if that's it, I will sign off for you. Everyone have a great day, and we will see you later this afternoon. No trading research. There are no classes this week that Hogue is teaching or participating in. But we do expect him back soon. So, all right, everyone. Have a great trading day, and I will see you later this afternoon. Signing off.